Hello and welcome to this very quick video on ExpressLRS, specifically how channel movement works. Now when you move the sticks on the radio, they're always going to be moving at 10-bit resolution, or what you'd expect from any other radio frequency system. However, how additional channels move, channels 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and more, is really dependent on how you set up ExpressLRS here in the Lua script. Now I'm talking about ExpressLRS version 3.0 here. ExpressLRS 3.0 introduced some new stuff, which is perfect if you're a fixed wing pilot. It makes it much more versatile and usable if you use it for fixed wing. Now let me go through the three settings and show you those. I'm making this because I've had a number of pilots getting in touch where they've been trying to set up ExpressLRS and then finding that the channel positions are kind of jumping rather than being smooth when they're setting them on things like sliders or analog pieces on the radio. So the first mode that we'll talk about then is one called hybrid. Now hybrid gives you the first 4 channels set to 10-bit 1024 resolution, which is what you want for your throttle, aileron, elevator and rudder. And then channel 5 is a 2-position control. Channel 5 is pretty much always at the moment a 2-position control. However, that might change in future. And then channels 6 and up are only 6-position only. And I think this is what is happening to a lot of pilots who are trying to set this up and then finding that it's only moving in kind of 6 very major increments. That's because you've got it set to hybrid. There is another option which you can select, and that is select wide mode. Now wide mode is again going to give you the full resolution for your sticks, and if you have the telemetry set to something like 1.2, so let's just put it down there, so either 1,2 or 1,4, then each of the positions for the other channels, channels 6, 7, 8, 9, etc., are going to be 64 positions rather than 6. Or if you set the telemetry to something else, then it's going to be something more like 128 positions. Now that's still going to be fine for things like aircraft, and it's also going to be fine for things like controlling gear and flaps and stuff like that. That's enough resolution for basic fixed wing stuff. However, in ExpressLRS version 3.0, we have something else. If you go up here right to the packet rate, where you can change the speed, and again, the faster the speed you select, the shorter the range that you're going to get out of the system for the power that you've got it set at. There are 2 new modes. There's one that's called 100 Hertz full. There's also another one called 333 Hertz full. Let's just put it on 100 Hertz full. Once you've got that set, then you actually have different options here for the switch mode. The first one is 8 channel. That means that channels 1 to 4 and channels 6 to 9 are sent as full 10-bit channels. So like traditional radio systems that you may be more familiar with. Again, channel 5 is a binary channel. And again, channel 5 is always used for when it's in the high position on channel 5. It kind of turns everything on. So even if you're using it at the moment in a fixed wing model, you need to make it so that channel 5, I set it up as channel 5 is your kind of throttle arm. So as soon as you kind of enable your throttle, you're also sending channel 5 high, which kind of turns all the ExpressLRS goodness on. Other options in here, as well as 8 channel, we have 16 channel. So that means that 16 channels are all sent full 10 bits, but at half rate. And then finally, you have 12 channel mixed, where channels 1 to 4, which are your main controls, throttle, aileron, elevator, rudder, are sent at the full resolution that you want. Channels 6 to 13 are 10-bit, i.e. they're still that full resolution again, but only sent at half rate, which means they're kind of sent every other time. Again, all these modes, every single one I've talked about, channel 5 is always at the moment used as a 2-position switch with low and high, high being needed to kind of turn on all the ExpressLRS goodness. So where would I use each of these individual modes? Well, for me, I would use hybrid for a quadcopter or a plane that's got a flight controller in where I don't have any other analog controls, like, I don't know, maybe pan and tilt or something that I'm controlling, or maybe, you know, very granular trimming of something else, I would be happy with hybrid. Wide with the 64 or 128 positions for the other channels is good for fixed wings or things with flight controllers, where those 64 or 128 positions are going to be fine for controlling things like dropping gear, also fine for positioning things like flaps as well. Or if you want to fly a fixed wing, then if you put it in the 100 Hertz full or the 333 Hertz full, it gives you access to all these other options where you have 8, 16 and 12 channels all available to you. Again, don't forget, channel 5 is always used currently as kind of the enable switch for all the ExpressLRS goodness. So when you're flying, you want that channel 5 in a high position, even if you're using a fixed wing. So hopefully that's helpful for those of you that are interested in this, making this video, because interestingly, over the last couple of weeks, I've had 2 people get in touch that have fallen foul of the fact that when set to hybrid, the extra channels are 6 position channels essentially. This is how you get around it. Thank you for spending your time today watching that video. You can find me in all the usual places on social media, and if you're trying to learn about a subject, then check out the playlist. All of my videos are organized into easy to follow playlists that, if you're trying to learn a topic, will take you from the basics right the way through to some pretty advanced stuff.